Friday, September 30th, 2011. Really dark video, even though it's not that dark in this living room. And I'm just too fucking lazy to get up and reposition myself so that you can see my face more clearly. So here it is. Absolutely nothing planned for this update. I was just watching some YouTube updates and I said, hey, it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. So I should probably check in. The main theme of the channel, as it always has been nutrition and fitness and weight loss. And none of that has occurred. I have, nutrition-wise, been okay. Preparing all my food at home, not indulging in too many sweets. Pretty good overall. Exercise, still at a big goose egg, 0. Every time I say to myself, well, it's going to be Monday or it's going to be Thursday, because that's the day when I'm finally settled into a schedule or when I know what's going to happen. But with this new job that I started orientation for yesterday, finished up orientation today, start actual in the field training tomorrow, and then that's for 2 weeks. But should really be no excuse, because the field training is essentially the same schedule as I'm going to be working anyways. I mentioned in my last video, or maybe 2 videos ago, that this job was got the job, significant pay increase, surprised to get the job. I said maybe 40% pay increase. It's over a 100% pay increase. I'll be making something like an additional $14 per hour in addition to what I was making before. So I feel like I should be more excited about that than I am. I mean, I've literally more than doubled my salary. For training, I'm only making like $16 an hour, but that goes up significantly when I start working after these next 2 weeks of field training. So a little anxious. Today is the first day of, tomorrow is the first day of actually getting out there and doing stuff tomorrow. A little anxious, a little worried, a little. Of course, you always go into a new job and always question your ability. Like, am I going to be able to handle this? I'm confident I can. I pretty much have this apprehension going into every one of these types of situations, and I get there, and it turns out to be, that I seem to perform quite well, and the job may suck, and I don't know if the job is going to suck. The job should certainly be better than my last job, and it's not going to be split shifts. I will be working twice a day. I'll be making significantly more money. The commute isn't significantly longer, but that's moot, because at my old job I had to drive to work and drive home twice a day. So this job is maybe 5 minutes further, but that seems petty. I always try to balance the working and my own free time, so I usually try to score jobs, somewhat in my area. So, 15, 20 minutes away, no big deal. The hours are good. For me, it's more of like a swing shift, so around 5, 6 p.m. until 2 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning. We'll see how it goes. As time goes on, the nice part about this job is that I'm not paid per hour. I'm paid per shift. I'm going to have 5 shifts per week. So, I have a set number of tasks, and regardless of how long it takes me, I get paid X number of dollars. So in the beginning, it may take me 9, 10 hours to get the shift finished, but a couple weeks, couple of months, I get better, learn how to be more efficient out there, and I can whittle that workday down to 6 or 7 hours. So looking forward to that. But getting back to the point that I mentioned like 3 minutes ago, schedule's pretty regular. So even during training, my days off will change between training and when I actually start to work. But the shift will always be, between 5 and 2 or 3 in the morning. So I have no excuse not to work out. And this job, so many other perks, like not only is the insurance 401k stock purchasing plan like significantly better than before. Like I'll actually have full legit medical coverage, dental coverage, vision, like legit, not bullshit. Short-term disability, 401k with company matching up to like 6%, stock purchasing options within all of the peripheral companies. Another thing is that they actually do a reimbursement, a gym membership reimbursement. So as soon as I heard that, I said, oh, I'm going to join that CrossFit gym, which is like 5 minutes away from my apartment. Not all that interested in CrossFit, but I prefer that to the Bally's gym. I'm like, oh, sweet, I don't know exactly what they charge, but CrossFit is usually $120, $130 per month. So I said, score, I'm going to join CrossFit and the workplace is going to pay for that. But turns out they only reimburse you up to $35. So looks like I will be continuing on at Bally's. So they'll be reimbursing me $20 for that gym membership, providing I attend 10 times per month. You have to show them documentation each month, prove them you've gone 10 times, and you get your gym membership covered. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, anxious about beginning tomorrow, but also excited. And it's a pretty physical, high energy position. So I've been free of caffeine, like completely, for the last 2-3 months. Just inadvertently stopped drinking Pepsi Max and all that jazz. And but at least for these first couple of weeks, I'll allow my body to adjust to the position and learning. And I'm with somebody else, so I don't want to appear to be ineffective out there. I'm gonna pound an energy drink before every shift and keep my levels real high and perform as well as I can. The body's feeling pretty good. The foot arthritis thing, or whatever you want to call it, didn't completely, manifest itself, didn't completely come out. So the foot is perfect. The knee, which felt like it was completely healed, is still a bit sore. I haven't been working it too much. I'm not quite sure why that is. I should be okay though. I shouldn't be doing too much, kneeling or anything like that. So I'll make it work. Weight loss, weight gain, none. I stayed the same. I actually thought I broke my scale because of course had it back in the bathroom, and I took a bath for the first time in like years. And as I shifted my body weight, I had a nice tidal wave of water flow out onto the bathroom floor, and it pretty much completely immersed the scale. And the scale didn't work for a couple of days, and then magically it works again, and the weight is roughly the same. So at least I haven't gained any, and that's kind of saying something, seeing as how the last 2 days they've been feeding us pretty well at work. And when I say well, I mean a good quantity. It's certainly not a good quality of food. So yeah, that's all for now. So I need to stay up all night tonight, at least until the sun comes up, crash, and then wake up at 3:30, be to work by 4:30, and I'll be working through the evening and into the night, and day one will be done, and hopefully at that point, job's not that bad, salary, fucking primo for a guy who with no wife, no kids. So I'm trying to sort of intelligently plan the upgrades I'm going to make in my life. I have a few debts I need to pay first. I don't need to pay them, but I do personally. And, we'll see. I should just keep living this relatively frugal lifestyle and, make some adjustments here and there. But really, the only thing I feel like I need is to pay off some of those debts and probably to get a new truck. Not new, but, 2003, 2004, something more. My truck has been reliable, but I don't think I have heat, which is a bit of a drag. Not necessarily for comfort's sake, but when the winter comes, it gets frigid here in Denver. And I've had 15 people ask me why I moved and when I was going to post a video about that. And I don't think I have time tonight, but yeah, it's not for comfort's sake having heat in my truck. It's for keeping all your the glass in your vehicle defrosted and to keep the fog off them. Without heat, it's going to be it'll just be straight up dangerous to drive. So, I'm hoping I can either save enough money before the snow falls, or possibly I'll decide to go and finance something, which is ridiculously bad idea, because with my credit, which is it's bad, fucking gutter terrible, but bad. Even despite a good income, I'll get absolutely raped on interest rates. So I shouldn't do that, but it's probably going to be the only way I'll be able to get a more reliable vehicle before the weather hits. I just need to go into it intelligently with as big a down payment as possible, but knowing in my mind I'm gonna pay this off in X number of months, not years, months. Like I said, I don't want a new vehicle. Maybe something that's $5,000-6,000, which I think is pretty reasonable. Yeah, that's really it. And it's a long video anyway, so I might as well add it. The move, there's really nothing to say. I got into a bit of a strange situation with my roommate, and then I felt like I needed to move out of that house. I wasn't forced out. It's still, amicable relationship. It's just I felt like I, for a couple of reasons, just needed to leave, and I could have certainly, I could have stayed there, of course, but I also could have, just leased a new apartment in Las Vegas. But really, the only thing keeping me there was, my friendship with my roommate. I didn't like the city from day one. My job prospects, as you can see, just 2 months later, I have this job here where I'm making more than twice as much money what I was making before. I already have part-time jobs lined up, like sort of gigs that I do on the side, like driving a party bus, things that pay like $20-30 an hour cash. Not to the point where I'm like wealthy, and believe me, this is all, who knows, maybe it won't pan out, maybe 5 days from now I have no jobs, but as of now, I was pretty sure that Colorado would just work out way better for me. And it could be, I understand that the market is ridiculously bad in Las Vegas, and it is significantly better here, but I also went into Colorado, into this move with a positive outlook, with just sort of being optimistic that good things would happen. And I'm sure that has, some effect on what has happened. But yeah, I wasn't going to sign, a lease on a one-bedroom or a studio apartment by myself to continue living in Las Vegas by myself. I had nothing keeping me there, nothing really going for me there. So I had it in my head that I wanted to move anyways for a long time. And, me, since I've, when I first started this channel, I was about 10 miles south of where I'm sitting right now. Then to Illinois, then back to Colorado, then to Las Vegas, and now back to Colorado. So Colorado for me, which is not my home state, seems to be a bit of a black hole, and that something keeps drawing me back. So I'm hoping that this is the last move. Of course, I don't plan on staying in this apartment forever. I don't even necessarily plan on staying in Denver forever, but probably this area, the Rocky Mountain area. So going pretty well so far. Still reclusive, still don't really have a social life, but landing some decent jobs, and other areas of my life seem to be going pretty well. So I could, of course, and it's always a struggle, but get the weight loss and working out back on track. That would be kick-ass. Man, this might be my longest video ever, and why? Well, it's 12:08 a.m. and I still have to be up for at least 5 more hours, so I have nothing rushing me. So what else should I cover? And to whomever actually decided to stick around, with this video for this long, which I doubt are more than a handful. Cat is doing well. He's a bastard, as usual. He's back on the sort of high-quality, grainy cat food, and this doesn't seem to have had much of an effect on him. He isn't any fatter. He's never really looked all that fat to me. I understand objectively that he's a huge cat, but I don't know. He seems pretty healthy and happy to me. He's only 7, so he ought to be kicking around for quite a while longer. That's it, man. I really don't have much else to say. Hopefully I can't tell. As I'm recording the video, the audio is in sync with my lips, so hopefully the video is not out of sync. And of course, I'll make a video this long, and the file will be corrupt, or you won't be able to hear me over the sound of my air conditioner or something like that. Covered work, covered working out, covered weight loss, covered social shit. I talk about camping. I seem to get fixated on, these theoretical hobbies that I want to get into. And starting like a month ago, was camping, man. Last time I was in Colorado, I didn't really, I got to view the beauty of the mountains. And believe me, if you've never been here in Colorado, it's gorgeous. I'm a sucker for that. I always viewed it from afar. I didn't take part in it. I didn't go hiking. I drove up to Pikes Peak, and I drove, the entire length of I-70, which on the western slope of the Rockies is postcard, picturesque, just ridiculously beautiful. But I want to take part, and I realize I didn't have much money, and I don't have any skills, and I'm starting late in the season, and I don't want to. And when I'm talking about camping, I'm not talking about like car camping or going to like a campsite. I'm also not talking like into the wild type of going into Alaska unprepared, but I want to go legit. Build a fire, pitch a tent, be a couple miles away from any human being type of camping. No facilities. Get out there. But I'm a relatively smart guy and a practical guy, and I understand my limitations, so I have no skills. I didn't grow up with a dad period, but a dad who took me camping or took me fishing or taught me how to build a fire and all that shit, so doing some research, and I'm trying to I tried to scrounge up and off of Craigslist, sales on Amazon, as many. Basically, I have an entire pack of emergency supplies. So, fire starter and compass. A compass? I don't even know how to fucking use a compass. I actually regretted that purchase, and it was $32. Went to return it to Amazon because I chose sort of a crappy excuse, but it was an excuse nonetheless. And I contacted them through their electronic chat system, and apparently they won't accept returns on compasses because they consider it like a hazardous material. So the guy just said, yeah, I'll issue you a refund, just keep it. And I'm like, okay, fuck yeah. I got a multi-tool Leatherman, I got the Super Tool 300, which I fucking love. Love having little tools like that I can carry with me, because there's so many opportunities throughout the day to use something like that. Hang on. Oh shit. The Battlefield 3 beta, whatever, just finished downloading, so I'm looking forward to that. Gonna be playing that tonight if I can get into a game, which I hear is rough. But I got the Leatherman. Should start doing reviews. I do lots of reviews on Amazon, and I'm ranked actually pretty high as an Amazon reviewer, and I tend to provide pretty quality reviews. So some of the stuff I bought, maybe I'll actually do some video reviews, even though people do it, and I'm sure they do it better. It's a good one though, that Leatherman, but it has none of the tools on the outside. So to get to anything, you have to take the entire thing apart. Um, Inevitably, when you take it apart, the plier head will be on the wrong side. I need the Phillips, so you have to move it over and you have to pry it out. And of course, that day I will clip my fingernails. So it's hard to pry out, and then you finally get that out, close it up, and it's a pain in the ass. I'm sure it'll last forever, and I'm sure it'll handle every task it has so far well. I should have gotten a different one that had some of the more regularly used tools on the outside. What else did I get? I got a kick-ass Gregory Spire backpack, like a full-on 4,700 cubic inch backpack on Craigslist for $50. A $500 pack. It's like 10 years old. Seriously, if you were to check it out, you would think it was 6 months old. It has worn very, very well. It's rugged. I like it. I got one of those self-inflating sleeping pads. I got the regular one. Man, it's tiny. Or I'm huge. If I was any bigger or if it were any smaller, I couldn't sleep on it. But it will definitely be more comfortable than sleeping on the ground. And I'm a real picky sleeper, so that's something that I found to be essential. What else did I get? I got the fire starter. I got a whistle. I actually bought what they call a jet scream whistle, in case you get lost. But I didn't know that the fire starter is actually like a Gerber, like the Bear Grylls edition. When you have somebody like a celebrity's name stamped to something, you kind of think it's going to be a cheaper version. It's actually that particular line of tools is beefy. And it had a whistle on it, so I wasted $7 on another whistle. And the whistle that came with that, louder than the jet scream that I bought. Bought a Gerber flashlight, an LED flashlight for like $15. It's much smaller than I thought it would be, but I like it. It's made of solid steel. There's no buttons. I don't know. It's not made of necessarily steel, but it's rugged. Like I think I could throw it up against the wall and it would be okay. It's bright for what it is for one AA battery. Got a little emergency radio thing. Eton, water resistant, weather bands, and it also has a solar panel on top, and it has a crank charger for your cell phone, which was actually a feature I was looking for, but apparently you need to crank the fuck out of it, like a half an hour worth of cranking to get like 1 minute of call time on your cell phone. I guess that's probably all you would need if you really needed it, if you could get reception. That's all I got though. I have no clothing. I don't have a tent. I don't have a sleeping bag, because those are the more expensive things that you need for camping. And of course I have no skills. So I have all these, pieces of the emergency. I have water purification stuff and looking at a water filter thing. And anyways, it's all shit to waste my money on in time. I probably have like $150, $200 worth of stuff there, and maybe that much more, and I'll be ready. Of course, by that time, though, I still will have no skills, but by that time, the weather will, at least, maybe not down here, but when you get up above the tree line, it's going to be pretty nasty up there weather-wise. So this is probably something that's not even going to happen for me until spring, or unless I can find some groups. I know there's like Sierra Club and gone to meetup.com, and I signed up for some of the outdoor adventure groups, and they do some winter camping and backpacking and hiking, and I would just like to try all that stuff. That's it, man. That's all I got. Like I said, the Battlefield 3 beta is done. I'm gonna play that. Here's for a record-breaking length video, which I'm sure no one's watching by now. Although, maybe you are. Because oftentimes I've watched videos where the person being filmed said the exact same thing. And I'm like, no, I'm still here. I have no life. I watched the entire video. I watched a half an hour video of some stranger online who's talking about bullshit. That's all. Video to come. Who knows? A weekish. I won't hold myself to anything. That's all for now. So, Thanks for watching. You new subscribers that I got, thanks for subscribing. And those of you who've been with me for goddamn 2.5 years now, thanks for continuing to watch. And that's all. Until next time.